Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and today we're diving into a topic that's reshaping how businesses operate across the Gulf region. We're talking about AI agents and enterprise automation specifically for Dubai businesses in 2025. Sam, this feels like a pivotal moment for enterprises in the Emirates, doesn't it?
Absolutely. What's striking is the scale of adoption we're seeing. Over 78% of large UAE enterprises are actively investing in AI and automation right now, and it's not just a nice-to-have anymore, it's becoming table stakes for competitive survival, especially in Dubai's core sectors like finance, logistics, and real estate.
Those numbers are compelling. But let's ground this in reality. Why is Dubai specifically experiencing this urgency? What's changed in the past couple of years that's making automation non-negotiable?
Several things converging at once. First, Dubai's economy has shifted heavily towards services and knowledge work. You've got over 11,000 registered companies, many managing complex cross-border operations. Legacy systems and manual workflows that worked a decade ago are now costing these businesses 25 to 35% in lost operational efficiency. We're talking millions of AED annually in wasted labor and slower time to market.
That's a massive hidden cost. And I imagine talent scarcity plays into this too, right?
Exactly. Dubai competes intensely for skilled labor globally. Automation lets businesses scale operations without hiring proportionally. You're solving a structural cost problem while maintaining competitiveness. Add to that the fact that many Dubai firms operate across the GCC, Asia, and Africa. Manual coordination across distributed teams simply doesn't scale.
So it's economics, logistics, and market pressure all reinforcing each other. Now let's talk about what we actually mean by AI agents. I think there's a lot of confusion between AI agents and traditional automation tools like RPA. What's the meaningful difference here?
Great question, because this distinction matters operationally. Traditional RPA is rule-based. It follows rigid scripts you define upfront. An AI agent, by contrast, perceives its environment, reasons about goals, learns from patterns, and adapts when it encounters exceptions. It's autonomous in a way traditional automation isn't. For Dubai enterprises, that adaptability is critical because business contexts change rapidly.
So you're saying an AI agent can actually improve its own decision-making over time without you reprogramming it?
Precisely. And that capability applies across 4 key areas most Dubai businesses care about: customer-facing automation, chatbots handling support and orders in Arabic and English 24/7, back-office operations like invoice processing and employee onboarding that run entirely autonomously, data intelligence agents that monitor KPIs and flag anomalies for finance and supply chain teams, and critically for the UAE context, compliance and risk monitoring agents that continuously audit transactions against AML, CFT, and DIFC regulations.
That compliance piece is interesting because I imagine Dubai enterprises are operating under increasingly stringent regulatory frameworks. How does automation actually help with compliance rather than creating more risk?
It does the opposite of creating risk. It reduces it dramatically. Manual compliance checking is inconsistent and slow. An AI agent can audit transactions continuously in real time, check adherence to UAE regulations constantly, and flag violations immediately. You get consistent, auditable decision-making with zero human fatigue factor. For financial services firms especially, that's game-changing.
Let me push back slightly, though. Implementing something this sophisticated, doesn't it require massive upfront investment and technical expertise that many Dubai businesses might not have in-house?
That's exactly why EtherLink's approach through its AetherMIND consultancy division exists. Rather than throwing businesses into a deep end with complex implementations, the strategy is road mapping, readiness assessments, and phased rollouts. You start by understanding where your biggest bottlenecks are, ensure any automation you build aligns with UAE governance frameworks, then implement practically. Many businesses can see ROI within 6 to 12 months.
So the consulting piece is about de-risking the transformation. Let's talk specifics. You mentioned a real-world case study earlier with a Dubai fintech firm facing cross-border payment challenges. What was the actual problem they were hitting?
They were managing high-volume international payments with enormous compliance complexity. Every transaction had to be checked against multiple jurisdictions, AML rules, sanctions lists, and counterparty verification requirements. Their team was manually reviewing thousands of transactions daily, which created bottlenecks, errors, and compliance gaps. Processing times stretched days when they needed hours.
That sounds like a nightmare scenario. You're losing competitive advantage while taking on regulatory risk simultaneously.
Exactly. They implemented AI agents that autonomously screened every transaction, flagged high-risk ones for human review, and processed clean transactions instantly. Within weeks, their processing time dropped from 3 days to under an hour, error rates fell by 94%, and they gained full audit trails. The team went from firefighting to strategy.
That's a concrete example of the value proposition. But I imagine other sectors see similar benefits, right? What does this look like for a logistics company or a real estate firm in Dubai?
Logistics firms typically struggle with document processing and shipment coordination across dozens of partners. AI agents can automatically classify bills of lading, match invoices to shipments, flag discrepancies, and update stakeholders, work that normally takes days of manual effort. In real estate, you've got agents automating tenant screening, document review, maintenance request triage, and compliance checks on investor backgrounds. Similar pattern: eliminate repetitive cognitive work, reduce errors, free humans for strategic decisions.
So the pattern is, identify where your team is doing repetitive cognitive work, deploy an AI agent to handle it, redeploy your people to higher value problems. What's the typical challenge most Dubai businesses face when they actually try to implement this?
3 things consistently trip people up. First, data readiness. If your data is siloed, inconsistent, or poorly documented, an AI agent can't work effectively. You need clean data pipelines. Second, change management. People fear automation will eliminate their jobs, so you need clear communication that you're augmenting roles, not replacing them. Third, governance. Especially in the UAE context, you need clear audit trails, explainability, and compliance documentation. You can't just deploy an agent and hope it works.
That governance piece strikes me as uniquely important in the UAE, given the regulatory environment. Are there specific frameworks Dubai businesses should be thinking about when they structure their automation strategy?
Absolutely. The UAE's National Strategy for Artificial Intelligence explicitly targets enterprise digital readiness and compliance. There's also DIFC regulations for firms operating in the financial free zone, plus standard AML or CFT requirements. Any automation strategy needs to be architected from day one with these frameworks in mind. It's not something you bolt on afterward. That's why having an AI-led architecture service that aligns roadmaps with governance is essential, not optional.
So if I'm a Dubai business leader listening right now, what's my first move? I'm convinced automation matters, but where do I actually start?
Start with a readiness scan. Map your highest pain processes, where your team spends the most time on repetitive work, where errors are most costly, where compliance risk is highest. Then get external eyes on your data and technology landscape. You don't need to build everything at once. Pick one high-impact area, build expertise there, then scale. And partner with people who understand both AI and the UAE regulatory context, because that combination is critical.
That makes sense. Focused, phased, compliance first. Sam, before we wrap, any final thoughts on where this is heading for Dubai businesses in 2025 and beyond?
The competitive pressure is only accelerating. Businesses that haven't started their automation journey will find themselves increasingly at a cost disadvantage. But it's not about ripping and replacing everything overnight. It's about strategic, measured implementation that actually improves operations and compliance simultaneously. That's where the real value lives.
Great insights, Sam. For our listeners who want to dive deeper into this topic, concrete strategies, implementation frameworks, compliance checklists, head over to etherlink.ai and find the full article on AI agents and enterprise automation for Dubai businesses. It's packed with actionable details and case studies. Thanks for tuning into EtherLink AI Insights. We'll be back soon with more on how AI is transforming enterprise operations across the region.